I started coaching with Corcoran Coaching about 8 years ago. A guy by the name of Matt Wagner, who owns Rate, reached out to me, said, I can get you a bunch more leads. I can get you all this business. And I said, hey, I actually just want a life. And he said, okay, then you need a coach. So he reached out to Bob. And at that time, I wasn't probably at the level for Bob. So he put me in touch with Amanda Howard, that was a great experience. It kind of had Bob's systems in it, but it was kind of like the baby steps to Bob. But I would go to corporate events and I'd look at him and think, someday you're going to coach with me, buddy. You're going to be my coach. And I asked him multiple times to coach me and he turned me down. I'm like, I will pay you. And he's like, you're not ready for me. And he turned me down. So I went to his office, and when he was in, was it Quincy, Illinois? I went to his office and I watched him coach for 2 days. And I'm like, Bob, I have to have you as a coach. And he said, yeah, guess what? You're not ready. And about a year later, he called me and said, so this is like 3 years ago, he called me and said, hey, Amy. I said, yeah. He goes, you're ready. I'm ready to start coaching you. And that was such an exciting day for me, because literally the very first time I met Bob, I'm like, you're my guy. I know you're my guy. And someday you're going to want to coach with me, right? So when I met with him, it was a whole different level. The accountability piece, like I meet with lots of coaches. I go to enough events around the country, and there's enough agents out there trying to be coaches that I feel like I get a gamut of all of them, right? And I'll always go back to this with Bob. He's going to shoot you straight, right? He's always going to tell you exactly what he thinks. And there's probably not a better business coach out there for real estate agents than Bob. So I've been with him for 3 years. My business has gone from approximately 202 to 250 of transactions when we first started, up to, we just did, I'm sorry, not 200, that was my first year coaching, 400. We just finished out the last year at 688. My GCI was about 2.5 million when we started coaching, just under 4 million this past year. And I literally did not even know how to read a profit and loss statement until I started coaching with him. And he made me sit down and go over it and go over it and go over it line by line. You know, I would say that it's not really anything I can even put a price tag on, because obviously my GCI has gone up significantly since I started coaching with him. But my whole entire life looks different. So what kind of price do you put on that? Bob has been a huge influencer in my life, a dear friend to me. And the fact that he's given me access and stuff, I mean, it's priceless to me.